Imagine a life where every thought blossoms into reality, where every deed is a reflection of your deepest self. This is the journey of the heart and mind, a voyage into the essence of our being. From the seed of our thoughts to the tree of our actions, every step we take shapes our destiny. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, mirrors this truth in every blossom, every fruit. Life unfolds from within, revealing itself in the light of our choices. Our hearts, the secret springs of existence, shape our lives. Joy and sorrow, enlightenment and ignorance. These are not mere external occurrences. They are the reflections of our inner world, the vigilant guardian of his heart. Every person has the power to shape their destiny. Negligence leads to illusion, but diligence opens the path to enlightenment and bliss. The mind, an infallible weaver of fate, holds the power to create and perceive reality. Our thoughts, the threads of destiny; our deeds, the loom of life. We are the architects of our character, the shapers of our fate. In every choice lies the power to transform, to liberate, to transcend. The bonds we forge in our minds can be unmade, leading us to truth and enlightenment. The outer world is but a reflection of the inner. True change, true growth, begins within. Embracing this wisdom, we can transform our lives and lead others to a state of peace and enlightenment. This journey is one of understanding the power of the mind, the formation of habit, and the path to true liberation. It requires persistent effort, choosing goodness and virtue, shaping our thoughts to align with our highest ideals. We often confront the ills of life. These are not sudden occurrences imposed from the outside, but rather, they stem from the inner workings of our minds. Just like a sculptor patiently chiseling away at marble, we must work diligently on the raw material of our minds, shaping and refining it into the embodiment of our highest aspirations. This path to supreme accomplishment begins with the simplest of steps, advancing through progressively challenging stages. This law of gradual and ascending growth is a fundamental principle in all aspects of life and human achievement. It is widely recognized in learning a trade or running a business, yet, paradoxically, often ignored in the pursuit of virtue, truth, and right living. The higher life is not merely a theoretical exercise, rooted in reading or the adoption of philosophical doctrines. It is an active, living process that unfolds in thought, word, and deed. The knowledge of spiritual principles, which are inherent in us and the universe, is gained only through a long discipline of virtuous practice. Consider the way a teacher imparts knowledge to students. They don't begin with abstract principles, but with simple, concrete tasks. Similarly, in learning a trade, a novice starts with basic tools, gradually taking on more complex tasks as their skills develop. This same approach applies to the spiritual journey. The practice of virtue precedes the understanding of higher truths. Thus, the knowledge of truth is achieved through daily and hourly acts of virtue, starting with the simpler tasks and moving to the more complex. As one persistently practices virtue, their understanding deepens and truth reveals itself. Let us consider a fable, reminiscent of the wisdom of Aesop, to illustrate this profound journey. In a lush, verdant forest, there lived a young sparrow, eager to learn the secret of flight. The sparrow observed the majestic eagles soaring high above and yearned to join them. Approaching the wisest eagle, the sparrow asked, "O great eagle, teach me the secret of your magnificent flight." The eagle, with a knowing gaze, replied, "Dear sparrow, the secret lies not in knowing alone, but in doing. Start by flapping your wings against the gentle breeze, then practice hovering above the ground, and gradually you'll learn to ride the winds." The sparrow, inspired but impatient, attempted to leap from a towering cliff, hoping to soar instantly like the eagle. But without the necessary practice, the sparrow fell clumsily to the ground. Realizing the wisdom in the eagle's words, the sparrow began practicing diligently, starting with small flaps, then hovering, and slowly, with each passing day, gaining strength and skill. Over time, the sparrow learned to glide gracefully, mastering the art of flight through persistent effort and practice. This simple fable mirrors our own spiritual journey. Like the sparrow, we must start with the basics, mastering each step through practice and perseverance. Our understanding and abilities grow not from mere desire to know, but from the act of doing, from the repeated, diligent practice of virtue. As we follow this path, we gradually unfold the layers of truth, just as the sparrow gradually learned to soar. Each effort, each step we take in doing good, brings us closer to the higher truths of life, elevating us to new heights of understanding and wisdom. This is a dance of diligence, where each step, however small, leads us to a grander stage of enlightenment. As we journey further, we encounter the crux of our transformation, the discipline of the mind. Like a potter at his wheel, we shape our thoughts with the clay of intention and action. Indolence, that sly tempter, must be cast aside, for it forms a barrier to the path of truth. It is a silent thief, stealing moments of potential and leaving behind the empty hours of neglect. To conquer this, we must awaken with the dawn, embracing each task with vigor. We must stand guard at the gates of our minds, allowing only the thoughts that lead to action and growth. Just as the sun dispels the shadows of night, so too does the light of purpose dispel the darkness of indolence. Next, we face the challenge of self-indulgence. Like a ship navigating treacherous waters, we must steer our desires towards the shores of temperance and self-control. The glutton, lost in the maze of fleeting pleasures, must find the way back to simplicity and balance. This is a journey from the excess to the essential, from the transient to the transcendent. As we travel this path, our words too must be tamed. Like a skilled musician, we must tune the strings of our speech so they resonate with truth, kindness, and purpose. Slander, gossip, and unkind words are discordant notes that disrupt the harmony of our inner music. Instead, let our words be a symphony of sincerity, uplifting and enlightening those who hear them. In this quest, let us not forget the power of forgiveness, the balm that heals the wounds of pride and vanity. It is a beacon of light in the darkness of strife and conflict. To forgive is to rise above the petty grievances and to see the world through the eyes of compassion and understanding. With each step, we build a fortress of virtue within, a citadel of peace and wisdom. The path of truth is not one of ease, but of earnest toil and unwavering dedication. It is a tapestry woven from the threads of discipline, courage, and love. In the end, we come to see that all these efforts, these disciplines of body and mind, are but reflections of the journey within. For it is within the quiet chambers of the heart that the true transformation occurs. Here, in the stillness, we discover the essence of being, the eternal truth that lies beyond words and deeds.